The key issues, Dr. Theru, that I want to get your thoughts on is the issue of the involvement of the parents or the guardians. It's a guiding principle within this curriculum to have parents and guardians of learners involved in the process. But some of the concerns that I've seen from different quarters is, what if the parent is not literate enough to help the students be able to perform some of these tasks that they're supposed to at home? Then what happens there?
I think even the problem is not that what if the parent is not literate? What if the parent is not willing,
right,
or is not available, or is available, is present in person, but doesn't understand why they should be the ones teaching the child?
Right.
There's such a shift. I've thought about this a lot because there's a shift from the original 844, which I went through, where we did sewing, we were hemming, we made clay pots, we made baskets, and I remember my mom, my dad, we did tie and dye. I think I even had, for a while I had a shirt that I made, I wore it for a while, which I made myself.
Right.
And I never once, or maybe I was a child, I didn't understand, I never once had discourse between my parents and the teachers, the parents saying or complaining about anything to do with education. They were so education minded, that generation. But when it comes to my generation, people are now too busy.
Is it that the dynamics have changed because perhaps now that we have more parents working and saying, look, I'm too tired to sit down and come after, from work and start helping my child to do this work, to create a car out of a box, perhaps?
I don't know, but there's definitely a shift in our values and our understanding of ourselves and our roles. There's just a shift. There could be that understanding that as a parent, these are my roles, and the teacher is the one in charge of education. It doesn't work like that.
So it's the mindset issue that Virginia was speaking about, and the fact that we must show at least how, or guide the parents on how these things can really work. Now then we can create some synergy between the stakeholders.
Can I even stop the conversation and just come down to the heart of it? Then I'll link it to your question on parents. The heart of the matter, as the way I see it, what's the problem, is the individual. Who are you? Do you know who you are? Okay? Why are we implementing a new curriculum, competency-based curriculum? Did you ever ask yourself why you are doing something different? Or it's just brought to you as a product and you're expected to just teach it? Do we go back and reflect that, what am I doing on this earth? What is my purpose as a teacher? It could be for anything, but let's now just narrow it down. As a teacher, as a human being, what is my role? Okay? And when I'm given something new to do, then how can I align it to myself? Okay? So how can you align a competency-based curriculum, which is expecting you to, as Virginia said, learn or teach others how to learn, and you have no clue even what that means. But it has been given to you in form of a curriculum in a book, so you go and teach it like a robot who doesn't even understand what all this is about. Why are we doing competence now? We go a step back even to the policy makers and the people who made this come together and give it to us. Did they ask themselves, why did we need to now go to a competency-based curriculum? Of what use, of what need, of what value is it to the African, to this Kenyan? Why change things? Okay? Once you have understood the why and who you are, why are we wanting to lift or change curriculum? Is it because we want this African child to be the best, to be able to compete with everyone all over, global, or what is it? Then we can now start sitting easy, start breathing a bit, because you have understood the why. You have not understood the why. You are being brought a curriculum, here it is.
So all this time, do you feel like perhaps we've not been able to reach to that level of understanding?
Yes, because it's something that it needs you to be a philosopher. You need to think. We are not taught to be philosophers in this curriculum. But you're taught to think for yourself. Can you even self-reflect? When there's a problem, Are you able to stop, think critically? Because critical thinking is, there's a problem, there's an issue, you identify it. Then to be able to create a solution. Right. Do you even have an imagination? Do you even know how to imagine a solution? Because imagining is something not tangible. You're used to being given something tangible to follow. Do you even have that in you? So if we can crack the whys, if we can crack how to help us think and create and innovate, then we will do CBC very well. Because CBC is all about creating. It's all about new things. And then to bring parents on board is not an issue. And I'm not showing off or being proud. I'm just using myself as an example of what can work. Right. And I'm blessed that even other institutions, including Ministry of Education and KICD, they come to Freedom School to find out how are you doing it, because you're doing it well and you're doing it right. So you find that when you have the passion, you've understood creativity, you've understood that whatever is in the curriculum is just a guideline. Remember, it's about competence. But implementation competence is a spectrum. There's someone with maybe smaller competence, someone with a larger competence. Now, parents come on board. I'll give you a very example of a way parents came on board in our school. We just had an entrepreneurship week, which is very CBC. And we taught the children about entrepreneurship, that you need to come up with an idea, you need to package that idea, sell that product. And then the parents came on board to help. The child came up with the idea, we came up with the training, the parent now comes in to help the child bring the idea forward. And there was this boy called Kerama. That time he was 8 years old or 7. And he loved juices, because one of the things we were using in the curriculum was to show children what other children are doing outside there. And he was seeing these children chefs from abroad. A child is cooking, has a cooking program, is even being invited to talk shows like Ellen. So the child was like, I want to do this. I love making juice, but I want to sell it. The mother, the parents came on board and helped him put it together, and now it's a fully fledged business. Even the mom has quit her job. And this is because of CBC. Now what's happened to this parent is she's now even a CBC advocate. She's been invited by KICD to talk to other parents. Other schools call her. She's called Claire. Other schools call her to go and talk to them about how can a parent get involved.
All right.
So, yeah. Okay. I can go on and on.